am in favor of the levy. My family and I, we voted on the last levy, and I realize it's already on the ballot for this fall, so I won't have any, if elected, I won't have any input onto the setup or anything about it. But I've done the research, and I support the levy for a couple of reasons. Number one is that we do have some issues, some serious issues there, and especially in Marlinton Elementary, for example. The SBA will not give us a dime, not even a penny or a dime even, to repair, upgrade, renovate, or replace a single board on that school building. And so we're looking at some serious money there to replace the sprinkler system, electrical system needs replaced. You know, there's various projects that need to be worked on. And so, you know, I agree with the levy, and I think that the project is a worthwhile project, and also it's a good value for us. We get you know, for all the commercial clients. Now, it will cost our families some money. That is, and every family has to make their own decision on whether they can support it or not. But my family and I, my wife and I, we've decided that we're going to support it, and I want to promote it if on the given the opportunity to.
Time served. Okay.
Mr. Jordan.
Well, I'm going to take kind of a controversial stand. I believe we need many repairs in school, but I oppose the levy in its present form. I think it's a blank check. I think if we're going to do things, we need to be more careful in our promotion, go community to community. And I believe at this time, the economic factors involving some of our large businesses, including the timber industry, snowshoe, various places, a levy may actually cause us to lose 30 to 50 employees at the large business. This is about children. This is about their families, about providing for the future. Now, as far as the Marlinton Elementary School, I believe it's either it or the middle school are the two newest buildings in the county. And I believe there can be repairs and sufficient things done there. We put the expense in to connect to the wellness center for a gym. I believe the staff can do with the building we have, but we need to do more maintenance. We don't need to leave things standing, doors falling off the buildings to make a point. Now, as far as the high school, we've got excellent vocational buildings. Our main building does need a lot of work, and it's something maybe we should look at in the future. But I cannot see adding a tax on the levy on the business within Pocahontas County when actually it's not going to pass. People are against it. We're trying to strong arm them into voting, and it's not the right way to do. We need to be more personal. If we're going to get things done right, I know we've got prospects of getting several $1 million in matching funds, but we need to do things and have our house in order financially within the school board and get people's trust back if we're going to promote this. And I think it's very important that we all be financially secure as the Pocahontas County school system. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vance.
Well, I'm against the levy too. I just think that money was spent in the wrong ways and used for the wrong purposes, but it should have been used on the maintenance of all the buildings. Greenbank School has a lot of problems with the sprinkler system. I know a couple other schools have got a problem, the high school's got a problem, but they can be repaired. We need to put the money towards repairing them. I mean, you know, they're coming out now, well, we gotta do this work to these buildings or build a new high school. You know, we've got a perfect high school up there, we just need to do some maintenance to it, you know, and put some money away somewhere else to do it. I don't really know what the financial budget is down there, but you know, you gotta put money back all the time for repairs and doing stuff and maintenance. And you know, maybe one person or in the board office down there are 3 people holding 5 titles, you know, down there, maybe we don't have a good maintenance man to direct to put the money in the right places. And, you know, I'm totally against the levy, and I know it won't pass. And I hate to see it, but I think once all the board gets in order, and if I get elected as Board of Education, once everything gets in order and we get the trust of the people back, maybe something will happen down there. And as far as the Mollington Middle School and Greenbank are the two newest buildings we got. The elementary school down there, you know, they want to take it and move the elementary to the Mollington Middle and then move the board office down there. You know, I don't know what their issues is. I know the board office is old, but, you know, gotta look at your money first in your future. You know, revenues from snowshoe, you know, if we start putting a tax on a levy, it's gonna cut back on, you know, a lot of people to pay the taxes, so. But I appreciate the support, but I'm just totally against the levy. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Walker.
Thank you. I have to say that obviously I'm for the levy. I think one point that you have to realize as sitting on the board, whether it's now or after May the 10th, it's simply it's an opportunity that the board has provided for our community. You've got the option at that point as a voter to vote for it or against it. That doesn't mean that any one person on this board is going to make a difference in that factor. When you start talking about the conditioning of the schools, I think I can say that I've had opportunities that the other gentlemen haven't. I have been in every school. I went through with an unbiased contractor and looked at issues. We see doors that you can, that 3 inches off the floor, with all the heat, the efficiency, and what I can tell you, we talk about the money we spend in the efficiency as far as heating these schools is unbelievable. In the board office, in one of the offices down there, there's 3 kiddie pools, 5 5-gallon buckets, and a couple other containers to catch water that was coming this week. There's no roof on it. There's no insulation in it. And with those things being said, I mean, Mollington Middle School, unfortunately for the town, that may move. I would think it should at this point, and it's certainly not leaving the community. It's simply moving up on the hill like the middle school did. So, when you look at that, the renovations that hopefully will take place, I think will improve a lot of those things as far as the finances go. It's really hard to say. It's really hard for people to see what all the problems are, and I would be willing to, and I know everyone else would be in that situation, to invite folks to come and let us walk you through the school. We can show you where the problems are, and there's things that we simply can't fix with a maintenance guy. It's beyond their capabilities.
Mr. Alderman.
I disagree with the main premise that the buildings are falling down. I've worked in Pocahontas County High School for over 17 years, and I have a hard time understanding what is falling down. I think we've got beautiful buildings. Some of my best friends were maintenance people, and they took good care of those buildings. I've been distressed over the last year or so to find out that we were really cutting back on the budget in maintenance. That's a terrible thing to do. That's the one place we ought to put our money, where we ought to put our money. And it's disappointing to me to think that every time you have a levy, you have to tear down the work of maintenance people and say, well, they've just let the building fall down. I'm telling you, the people I know are hard workers, do a good job. Some of my best friends were janitors. They cleaned and they cleaned and they cleaned. And I'm convinced that we don't need a new high school. What we need to do is fix up what we got. I'll give you an example of that. The example is that the federal government said, well, you can't build in the floodplain, but we built a wellness center, didn't we? We got a brand new building down there. We keep adding on to that building down there. Marlton just simply can't afford to lose that building. Now, I've been there on 2 different flood occasions, and I've helped clean it. I've wiped mud out. And when I wiped that mud up, it was disgusting. My wife had water in her classroom within about 3 foot of the ceiling. We cleaned it up, we fixed it up, and the building, you can go in there today and find it's a really good shape. I don't agree with the premise. Thank you.